I'm Rob Sestrino, and today we're talking about the internet's most interesting news stories for the week of November 15th, 2016 here on News AF.
If the story is buzzing like it's on crystal meth, it's about to be News AF.
That's right.
News makes you bored to death. It's time for some News AF. Actual, factual news.
Yes, that's right. We are back once again here live on a Google Hangout today to talk about the internet's most amazing and interesting news stories on the News AF. And of course, here with us after a very slow news week, of course, here is the pride of Utah, Tyson Apostle. Tyson, how are you?
I'm good, but that might hurt Danny's feelings.
What am I, the
also
shame?
from Utah.
The shame of Utah is also
the shame
with
of
us.
Utah. Danny Bryson is here with us as well. Eye in the sky. Danny, how are you?
I was doing great until I was called the shame of Utah. But I'm sure there's a lot of people who could actually take my place should I die.
David Archuleta's dad.
Is that true?
I don't know anything about that guy, but yes, he probably could, just knowing people in general.
Okay. All right. So here we are back again after a very uneventful week since we signed off 1 week ago on Tuesday. Very boring week.
Yeah, not a lot happening.
Not a lot happening.
Danny,
Danny?
transition to power.
Yes. How's everything going on your end? Everything good?
You know, my house is still standing.
Yes.
The men haven't come to take me away. So
Not
I'm
yet.
happy. Not yet.
Not yet.
But maybe in
Tyson,
January.
have you been visited by any men yet?
Not yet, but I want to know is if I lived illegally in a different country in the past, am I going to be in trouble in the future?
I think the jury is still out on that.
Because
We're
I
not
lived
sure.
in Switzerland,
Yeah.
Austria, and Belgium for 6 years
Yep.
without any paperwork, dude.
Yeah.
On my
Okay.
passport alone.
Well, I think those days are over, Tyson.
I can't do that anymore?
I don't think so. I don't think
Yep.
so. I
I
think
bet I
everybody's
could.
cracking down.
I bet I could.
But- All right, so we are here once again to talk about all of the best stories, the stories that are all actual factual, and that I think brings us into the top story at this hour. There's a lot of talk in the news about fake news on Facebook. Of course, the mission statement of this podcast was always to talk about the actual factual news and to throw out all of the actual craptual news. But apparently, a lot of the actual craptual news is making its way to Facebook. And in light of sort of trying to do the autopsy on what happened in the election, the fake news on Facebook, Danny, has really been a huge story in the traditional news this week.
Hard this past election season to know what was fake and what was real because everything was so strange. So maybe,
Yes.
That's why people weren't sure, and now they want to clean things up so we can move on.
Yes. And Tyson, there's been a lot of talk that Mark Zuckerberg, there was a proposal on his desk at one point to either weed out or sort of brand news as fake news or unreliable news. They decided not to do this supposedly because they felt like it would be too polarizing politically, because there was allegedly more news sources on the right that were showing up as fake news. But Tyson, we've been dealing with the fake news on Facebook for maybe 2 years,
For only 2 years?
if not longer.
I think longer, dude.
Yeah.
I actually had a money-making scheme to start like a news site with just super feel-good stories
Huh?
and
That's a good
like
idea.
motivational, inspirational stories. And those things go berserko every time when you're just like, yeah, this guy, all of a sudden a miracle happened, and it was all because he just gave money to a homeless man.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe all of this can be traced back to The Onion? Was The Onion the originator of the
No.
fake news, or The Inquirer?
No, the
If you
Onion
know.
needs to rebrand. I think there's too much fake news that the Onion stuff is like ho-hum,
Is old.
mundane. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really was
I
The
think-
Inquirer, I
I
think.
think really where it started, Danny, was remember the prophets in the Bible?
Mhm.
Like where the guy's like, I swear that donkey talked to me. I kicked it.
Yeah, God.
Yeah.
Started talking
That
to me.
bush. What's that bush saying?
Now, do you think that maybe in the modern times, the Weekly World News, Tyson, was the start of this?
The Weekly World News, yeah, that was one of the originals. I love to read those. The Weekly World News, the National Enquirer, they're hilarious, dude. Bat Boy,
Yeah,
where
because
was Bat Boy
that
at?
news is so much more entertaining than facing reality. Like, I want all these stories to be true, and all the stuff I'm reading, on USA Today or New York Times, I want those to be fake.
Yeah, you're hoping those aren't true.
Yeah, I want the alien abductions, the kid that was born half a pig. I want all of those stories to be the real ones.
Yeah, another Bat Boy sighting.
Another Bat Boy sighting. Those are my heroes: Bat Boy, Pig Kid.
Yeah. I'm surprised the Weekly World News has struggled to find a foothold in 2016.
Yeah, you think it'd be going strong on Facebook.
You would think so. You would think that they'd be able to really get a footprint on Facebook, but unfortunately, they have not. But in terms of this podcast, in terms of the actual factual news and the real news, do you think that, Danny, if they did clean up the fake news on Facebook, would that only make the submissions we get for this show better, or would it hurt us?
Well, I mean, it keeps things interesting. It makes us pay attention.
Yes.
And so in that way, it helps us. But at the same time, if they get rid of those fake stories, I think they're going to lose a lot of interest in Facebook, because one of the stories that get passed around the most are probably the weird ones.
Oh, that's interesting. So it'd be a bad thing for Facebook if they were to crack down on this.
Yeah, I think that they would be, there'd be half as many stories shared, because people love sharing the ideas of the pig sighting of the Bat Kid, or whatever Tyson called him, or the Pig Kid and the Bat Boy. I mean, those are the stories people like to share. They're like, what else are they going to share? Nobody wants to hear about your political views. That's a way to lose friends. But if you're sharing a story about the Pig Kid, you're getting friends all over the place. They're like, yeah, I like this guy.
Yeah,
he's interested in things I'm interested in. Yeah.
He's the Ken Bone of the Weekly World News. Yeah. Tyson, this week we had a story submitted to us in our Group AF Facebook group. Man shocked to bump into his dog on train ride to work.
I want this to be true. I'm like, I just want this to be true.
Wait, so who was on his way to work, the dog or the man?
The man was on his way to work, and that his dog showed up and sat next to him on the train.
Yeah,
that sounds like
it sounds like a Far Side comic.
Yeah, right.
They say dogs are man's best friends, so I'm not surprised he found his master and plopped down next to him.
Or do you think the owner was surprised that the dog had a job in the city? Or a second family?
Yeah, what are you doing here? Yeah, it's awkward.
It's super awkward ride.
Family in the city that he goes to every day while his owner's at work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Do you feel like that? Is there a role for us in determining what is real and what is fake on Facebook, Tyson?
Can
we sit on the board of actual factual, actual craptual?
Yes.
Yeah, we do sit on that board, and that's, as serious journalists, that is our duty to our listeners to find out what is actual factual and what is actual craptual.
I think Facebook should give us a job.
Yeah.
We'll be the arbiters of truth, us three.
I would love to have that job. Yeah. Yeah, I think that we can sort of say, no, that's actual factual site, actual craptual site. I mean, I think it's pretty easy to do. One of the things that they're doing is that they're going to stop having Google AdSense on fake news sites, Danny. Do you think that will stop the fake news?
Well, how are they thinking that'll stop fake news? Does Google AdSense give a sense of, oh, this must be right if you can do an advertisement on it?
Well, I think they feel like that they want to stop the monetization of fake news.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I see that.
The clickbait fake news, if you can't monetize on fake news, will that slow it down?
If you get rid of the clickbait, half the internet disappears.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, what content is out there?
Did you guys hear about the woman in Los Angeles who found out one secret that's making policemen super angry?
Yeah, that's the problem, that half of the ads are fake news.
You'll never...
All the ads are, but they have to have a sponsored by now, don't they? The fake ones are sponsored ads.
Yeah, they did do that, but that's a small change. I mean, you know how many times I've been told about, you'll never guess who's passed away. She'll be sorely missed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then they have like a
Oh,
picture
and
of
it's a picture of
Oprah.
Macaulay Culkin.
Well, then I wouldn't be surprised. But then they put up a picture of like Oprah, and you're like, I swear, if Oprah had died, I would have heard it from somebody else other than this
Yeah.
advertisement.
No, that's a great point. That on most of these real news websites that you go to, most of the ads are for actual craptual news.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
They all
sponsored story. And it's like, what is this? Oh, this is like some crazy, you won't believe this. And you shouldn't believe it because it's not true.
The one miracle pill that has doctors rolling over in their graves.
Yeah. This woman discovered a cure for her acne. You'll never guess what it is. I won't. I will
Shows
never
a
be able
lady
to
like-
guess. I better click on this because my guessing skills are poor.
Yeah, people, and it has a picture of like this lady covered in mud.
Yes.
They're like so stupid.
Danny, is there anything that we can be able to tell automatically? Like, are there any sort of like disqualifying URLs? Like, should we just be able to look at what the site that it's on and know a story is fake?
Yeah, I think that, first of all, if you read a headline that is phrased at all like the ones we've been discussing, don't even click on it. If you feel like they're trying so hard to get your attention, then don't give them your attention because that's obviously a ploy. If the URL ends with anything like dot and then 2 letters, maybe don't click on that either.
Yes.
Something I do if I'm interested in a story and it looks like it might be real, I search it in Google. So I don't click on that link. I just go up to the search bar and type in something similar to what they're advertising. And then I'm like, okay, this is obviously, dot ads, dot free stuff, dot whatever, cornhole. They're always just trying to learn.
Yeah, that's always a bad one.
So there's lots of ways to protect yourself.
I heard of a clickbait story going around that was Bernie Sanders could like legally be our president, and here's how.
Mm-hmm.
And then you open the article and it's like, no, he couldn't. Get a brain. Do some reading. Familiarize yourself with the laws of the land.
See,
Why did you click on it? Like, that's
are you
awesome.
is that a fake story that you're passing around now? Are you doing like talk bait?
No. No, I saw this yesterday. That there was a headline for it. Was like, hey, if you shared this story, we just read the headline, then you got.
Yeah.
Man.
It's a real
just
thing.
Good.
It's just a bunch of landmines out there on the internet.
Yeah.
That's why whenever I get an email and they want my personal information, I give it because then they can cater their information to me.
Yeah, that's true.
If they want to know who my first pet's name was, I give that to them, or my mom's maiden name. Just helps them refine things.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that this is a really big thing, and I think it's the right time to be talking about it because it used to be like a lot of these stories, especially like in the political arena, you would get like forwarded to you. I'm not gonna name which one of my in-laws might have been like forwarding stuff like that like 8 years ago. But it used to be you would just get like a chainmail forward an email, and then by 2016, like all these things turned into like Facebook news stories.
Yeah. Well, and in our world, in mine and Danny's world, the Mormons are the prevalent religion here.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get chain mails. I don't know if Danny's the same, of these super inspirational faith promoting stories that ended up not being real at all.
Yeah. Our religion had these types of things going on when we were young.
The Japanese during Pearl Harbor invasion tried to bomb the Mormon temple and their guns would not engage.
Yeah, because angels were spin kicking the bullets away.
Yeah, dude. But then you come to find out, like, the Japanese would have in no way been up there. Historians are like, no, that could not have happened the way the Japanese operate. It's crazy.
Well, the clickbait.
That's how you build a religion.
Yeah. The clickbait, it existed before, right? But there was no option to click or not click. It was like listen, and then after you listened to it, you either believed or you didn't believe. Here, it's like they're learning
to listen. Like it was like on the radio.
No, like Tyson saying like someone tells you a story word of mouth.
Yeah.
So the clickbait existed in just a different format, and now it's kind of mutated into what we call clickbait. But it's kind of the same thing, just gossip and people trying to tell outrageous stories in the hopes of gaining something from the
Yeah.
people who listen to it.
So you're saying that basically like gossip has like taken the form of news.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and storytelling in order to like, before you would tell a story like that in the hopes of gaining somebody's trust or hoping that they would like you. And now they're doing it for just financial gain.
Mhm.
I used to work with this
which
kid.
makes more sense.
I used to work with this kid who took all the aspects of his life and exaggerated them to a really huge extent to gain listeners. We'll call them listeners. And then he went berserko, and I don't talk to him very much anymore, or at all.
Yes. That's the thing that can happen. Yeah.
That could happen, because once you start telling these outrageous, outlandish stories, you start almost believing them yourself, and then you lose your mind.
Right.
Yeah, and by the way, clickbait exists in many forms on like social media. People who post pictures, or they create composite images, or they write captions, they're all kind of trying to use the tricks of clickbait to get people to follow them, to like their pictures. So the idea of fake news just existing on Facebook is kind of
It's everywhere.
It's not the real problem. The problem is it's everywhere because everyone's trying to do what they can to get as much attention as they can. And so people will post pictures or write captions that don't tell the whole truth in the effort. I mean,
People get addicted to clicker baiting.
Yes. Too much clicker baiting happening.
People are clicker baiting in their home nonstop. Every
time somebody clicker baits, an angel loses its wings.
Yeah. It's a good way to go blind too.
Yeah, and get hair on your palms.
That's right. So, Danny, what should sites like Facebook do with this sort of clickbait type news stories or fake news? I mean, should they like brand it with some sort of like scarlet letter, or
no? They should let it continue and allow humanity to drown in its own ignorance.
Wow, that was dark.
If that's Rob, you can't protect people from themselves. If they're not doing clickbait on Facebook, they're doing it somewhere else.
Yeah,
people
in
have
their
to learn
heads.
creative thinking. I mean, not creative, critical thinking. And maybe Facebook is teaching people how to think critically. Like,
stop creative thinking. And
Right. I guess it's a good point. I mean, is there some sort of First Amendment type right to, if somebody wants to say like a report on fake news, Tyson? I mean, who is Facebook to stop them?
You can report on fake news, but if you're, is Facebook the medium to stop them? There's got to be, I don't know. That's the thing. That's where is the line there?
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
If you tell a fake story and it makes people happy, is
like
that
the Bible?
Like Tyson's idea for a website or whatever it was that told fake, happy, feel-good stories.
Fake inspirational stories, faith-promoting stories.
Is that such a bad thing? People want to have something to, think about and look forward to.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll make fun of them when they tell me the story and I know it's false, but if it makes them happy,
yeah, but
I
it's
guess
bad.
that's something.
No, it's bad because it's a false. Because that leads to more stuff. Like if let's take, for example, the Bible, whether or not it's true.
Right.
It's built this huge following. So like, let's say you take something outrageous that people start believing and placing stock in, and all of a sudden it's generated this, like, that's how cults are formed.
So you're thinking that clickbait might accidentally just go slide right into a religion. Like
trigger the next religious movement. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Joel Osteen, I heard Joel Osteen started in the clickbait industry.
That's a very fair point in terms of, you have a lot of religious sites out there, and let's say Neil deGrasse Tyson, not Tyson Apostle, he says, hey, this is not true what they're saying on this site. I mean, does that site get branded as fake news?
He's pretty smart. A lot of people think he's pretty smart.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a fine line and slippery slope. I don't know. And who is Facebook to say who is the arbiter of what's actual factual and what's actual craptual?
Us three.
We three stand.
We three, the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
Because remember the time the angel of anti-clickbait came down and bestowed upon us the powers, and we were all there.
See,
we
look,
all saw it.
This is the problem. Tyson's turning anti-clickbait into a religion. Have you noticed that? He's making us kind of
The anti-clickbaiters.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you can clickbait in the privacy and comfort of your own home as long as you don't get it on anybody else.
And you don't bring that,
That
clickbait
doesn't want it.
open.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So you think that as long as you can read whatever you want in the privacy of your own home, it's when you should they just take away the share button on Facebook, Tyson? Would that be better?
Yeah, that is a good idea.
Yeah, but they can still copy the URLs.
Yeah, but you could only put it on your own wall.
Okay. Yeah, you can only put it on your own wall. And if it's deemed clickbait, there's a way that Facebook can go in and tag it. But then when they tag it, it puts something super embarrassing on your wall in place of the story you shared.
Maybe
Like everybody has to submit, like the Nathan For You, where everybody has to submit something embarrassing. So if they don't meet their goal, so it's them naked in a hot dog suit with their bum sticking out the two
How can you be
buns.
naked in a hot dog suit?
You have to submit a picture to Facebook now to even sign up for and use Facebook's
Is it like
thing.
a crotchless hot dog suit?
Well, you're turned around frontwards. You're facing the inside of the bun, so it's just your naked butt pointing out the back.
So
we
it's-
could get Chris Hansen to do a show to catch a clickbaiter.
Chris Hansen.
And we get him in, and what happens is, like, you go to find out what that Provo mom did to avoid getting tickets. He's like, "So what are you doing here? Take a seat,
Yeah.
sit down."
Take a seat, sit down.
Did you,
It would all have to be virtual
Did you
reality.
share this on your wall, this story?
Yeah.
Let's talk.
What are you doing
Tell
with the
people
wine
to read
cooler?
this.
Yeah, what are you doing with that
the
bag
wine
of
cooler?
wine cooler? Yeah. Chris Hansen to catch a clickbaiter.
To catch a clickbaiter.
Clickerbaiters.
This is a big story. I think that there's only going to be more talk about this. And I do hope that it does lead to less actual craptual stories in the future.
Yeah, I
We'll
think
see.
it will.
We'll
Can
see.
you guys believe that if I would have run for president, I would now be president? That's what's kind of like, honestly,
Because the
that's
election
kind of
is over? Is that what you mean?
Because I would have won.
If
I
I would
would've-
reasoning for this,
Yeah.
like, how are you? Go on, tell us more about how you were going to win.
Well, I would have run on a similar base platform as Donald Trump, where we need to clean up the government.
Right. Drain
But
the
then I would
swamp.
have drained the swamp, but I would have taken out all the racism and sexism and all of that stuff. And then, then I think I would have won. And
Well,
I'm young too. That would have been my platform, is like, hey, yo, I'm pretty young. Like, I know how to work a smartphone. I don't have ideals from like the 40s, like this DT guy.
Yeah, but I
And,
think you did banking on those millennials. I don't know if they turn out. You gotta appeal to the old.
Well, that's the thing. I'd be like, and I'm still old enough that I have some wisdom. And then you get a vice president that's maybe a little bit older.
Well,
I
you
would've
should have
won.
run because
Like, I
2020 is going to be tough. You can't. I don't know if
I
you
know.
can beat Kanye.
Yeah. No, I do
I
think
know.
that don't underestimate how much people like something that's going to be totally different. I think people maybe underestimate how important that is to people. Like, you know what? We need something totally new. And in that regard, Tyson, I think maybe you could be a potential 2020 candidate.
No, I think this is my year.
This
Well,
was your year.
Yeah.
This is the year of the clickbait candidate.
I think this was my year because in 2020 I'll be a little bit older, so I
Right.
won't be able to be like, "Hey, yeah, I'm just this age." I think I missed a real opportunity.
Yeah, you peaked
Yeah.
politically.
All right. Well,
What a shame. We'll never know what kind of awesome reform you could have.
we'll never know.
I'll try and maybe I'll get on the ballot in 2020. I think I will.
Maybe. Look, I think that we start the campaign now.
yeah.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Do I
Okay.
want to be Republican or Democrat?
Make
think-
your
well,
own party.
I
With
think it'd be
no,
tough
no,
to
no, no.
run as a Republican because that I think that you would presume that the president, the
brand will be
president-elect, will be the Republican nominee.
Okay, so I'll be Democratic. I'll
Yeah.
be the Democratic nominee. Okay,
Or an independent. I think that maybe,
No.
I think that
No.
maybe, the follow in the heels of the like Evan McMullins.
Oh yeah, he totally would have won this thing. No, I want to win, Rob.
Okay.
I'm
All
gonna
right. Then. Yeah,
I'm gonna try and be the Democratic nomination, but if I can't get that, then I will. Then I'll.
I think you have a lot of things going for you, Tyson. I think that one, you already have a prolific Twitter. I think that is also one of the check marks.
It almost rivals Trump's and Hillary Clinton's.
Your reality TV personality. Yeah.
Yep.
Great hair.
Great hair.
So
that's 3.
I think that's already, you're on your way.
That's already, you have our votes plus most of the people in your family would probably vote for you. So you're probably up to like 20.
I bet some of them wouldn't though.
Yeah. I said most. I didn't say all of them.
All right. So the campaign begins. Is Danny going to be your running mate, or you need somebody that's more different?
I'm going to have to gauge and see, but I think I'll probably need someone who's more different at the time.
You want to win, Tyson, get a cat as your running mate.
A cat? A
cat.
Kitten.
A kitten. Oh, a super cute kitten. But in 4 years, it'll be a cat. So you're going to have to constantly recycle your kitten.
Get clones made of a bunch of the same kitten. Yeah. And they're like, how does that kitten stay the same age? And you're like, it's magic.
Yeah.
And it's only someone who should be the leader of the free world.
This man bought a kitten and it never aged. Click here to find out more.
Yeah.
Click here to find out his secret.
You could be losing people with the cloning. I think a lot of people could be turned off with the whole really bringing cloning to the forefront.
Do Democrats want to clone or not?
Probably I think that the Democratic platform would probably be more pro-clone than Republicans.
It's not really a topic that makes the headlines. Are you pro-cloning?
But in 2020,
where do you stand on robots?
Robots? Yeah. I think they're useful in factories, but as far as sex robots go, we need to do the research and we need to move slowly. Yeah. And we'll make a decision when the time comes. But for now, we're
malfunction mid intercourse. You're gonna have broken fingers.
Yeah.
What do you say about robots who are going to take people's jobs, Tyson?
No.
No.
Bad robots.
No. What?
Bad robots.
Okay.
So what about all of the sex trade workers who would be replaced by the robots? What are you going to do about that?
I'm going to, if the sex worker wants to be replaced by a robot, they can. We'll find a new job for the sex worker. If the sex worker loves the job they're in, then he, or I guess a she,
if they love their job, they can keep their job.
I just always assume a sex worker is a guy. He can keep that job.
I think that what you need to do is you need to play up the new expanding field of sex robot repair, because there's going to be a lot that first off that
cleaning.
It's messy. It's messy. So there's the sex robot cleaning and maintenance. So that's a whole new industry that you would be bringing forward.
That is true. And that, I mean, probably the biggest industry actually.
and sex robot therapy.
Growth industry for our country.
Sex robot therapy. So we're going to have robot therapists for the sex robots.
Yes, they're going to need lots of it.
Right. Yeah. Right. All right. Also, just one other story that's sort of related to politics. Taylor Martina sends us a story about a 21-year-old girl who just became the youngest person ever elected to the Florida House of Representatives.
God damn, this girl got it right.
Yes. And interesting, Tyson, that her name is Amber Mariano.
I know. I saw that, dude. And I was like, this is a clickbait story. They used Amber's name to get a little traffic.
Yeah.
Former Survivor winner, Amber Mariano, went back in time to become 21 and ran for office in the state that she currently lives. The Marianos live in Florida too.
Yeah. This is very confusing.
Danny, Boston Rob's wife. Boston Rob's last name is Mariano.
Okay.
His wife's name is Amber.
Oh.
Yeah.
Same as this 21-year-old girl who is now in the House of Representatives?
In Florida. The Florida House of Representatives. Yeah.
Well, here's what Rob's wife should do. If this girl does a great job, Rob's wife should run next year, put up all the signs
against her,
and hopefully just get elected by mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, that'd be so hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
So that's if she does a good job. What if she does a bad job? Couldn't she run and say that she's the Amber Mariano that doesn't suck?
But that will be more confusing to the voters.
Yeah.
You don't want to confuse.
It's
the
better
voters.
if she does a good job and then she puts her name in, and you look on the ballot and it's just like 2 Amber Marianos.
Oh, that'd be
Is
so
this
great.
the age where they're going to have to start posting pictures along with the candidate's name?
Yeah. That we should do that also. Because, you know what, honestly, I voted last week, Tyson, and that there was like,
Why?
why did I vote? Well, I had,
Hey.
people were shaming me. People were shaming me.
People
I
were
had to vote.
shaming, yeah.
And so I had to vote. And then there was a lot of things where I was like, oh, I don't know. And I was just like picking people based on like, I like this name, like, or they had like their title underneath there. Like,
You don't have to
like,
vote for everybody.
Yeah, you just fill it out like I filled out the SAT. I just did.
oh, you don't have to, you don't have to click. Like, I was just voting on people based on their job title.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
oh,
that's
this
a-
person
that's-
is oh, this person is like,
No, that's a bad way, Rob.
child
That's a bad
rights
way, 'cause
advocate. I mean, vote for there.
if you're not familiar with what's going on in that particular arena, you shouldn't vote.
Yeah, well, I should, I'm very familiar with a lot of the national political issues, but
Yes.
I did not do my homework on a lot of the
Locally.
California politics.
That's what
in
I'm
terms
saying.
Of, like the races or
So
like,
you're familiar with the ones that don't really impact you that much, and completely ignorant when it comes to the ones that probably have more of an impact on your life. It seems
yeah,
a bit
that's right, Danny.
backwards.
That's right.
That's how everybody is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
No,
how
I
everyone
don't.
is, right?
I think I was really on top of all the national issues, and then in terms of like the local politics, I probably am more, up to date on like I read like New York news that I don't read like the LA Times or anything like that.
Oh, look at you.
Read the New York Post.
Yeah.
Wow.
This
Which
was
might
a tough
have a
year.
lot of also actual craptual stories in it, by the way.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
bunch.
It's
This
like
was
the
a tough
Daily
year to
Mail.
vote because
Why?
you got
Long lines?
'cause You got shamed if you voted Republican. You got shamed if you voted Democrat. You got shamed if you voted third party, and you got shamed if you didn't vote.
Yeah, there was a lot of shaming
You have to-
all across.
The only thing you have to feel is shame.
Can
Yeah.
you vote for shame?
You could vote for
President?
shame.
2020.
I mean, the least amount of shame was voting Democrat. That would have been voting for
No,
Hillary
because
was
then
where
if you voted for Hillary, then you got shamed by like Bernie Bros.
yeah, Tyson, there was no good choice.
you were going to get shamed no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what?
So wait in line and get shamed after all of it, or just stay home and get shamed.
Yeah. Tyson, that should be part of your platform in
Feel no
2020 of say like, hey, vote for me if you want to, or if you don't want to, that's cool too.
Yeah, feel no shame.
Yeah. Just, I don't want you to be pressured to vote for me.
Yeah, that's my slogan. Hashtag feel no shame.
Yeah. That could be good.
Whether you vote for me or you don't, please don't feel any shame, and
Feel
please don't
no
shame them.
shame.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, I don't know if that's good. I don't know if can I see that
Not
on a
good.
t-shirt? Feel no shame.
Hashtag feel no shame.
Shameless.
Shameless.
Yeah.
That sounds like Tyson walks around with just shirts and socks on.
How about this? No more shame.
No more shame.
Yes.
That's best. That's
Yes.
best.
No more shame. Like that's more like you're going to do something.
Yeah, I like
Your
it.
opponent
Okay.
will blend with the slogan "Make shame great again."
No.
Yeah, he
I don't know.
will. Because right now we're assuming my opponent's going to be Donald Trump. If he's even still, I mean, he's going to be 75.
Gosh,
Is that how old he's going to be? I thought
He's
he was like
70.
70.
He's 70, but
74?
maybe he's going to turn 71 here before the end of the year. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. You're also assuming that maybe you're not going to be happy in 4 years, Tyson. You don't know that.
Why wouldn't I be happy in 4 years?
Well, you're assuming if you're gonna run for president, that you're assuming that you're not gonna like the job that Donald Trump is doing in 4 years.
Well, it doesn't. As long as the majority of Americans don't like the job he's doing, I'm a shoe-in for the next president.
Yeah. Well, it's possible, but you might endorse him.
Well, how much money is he going to pay me to do that?
I don't think they pay you to do an
let's just
endorsement.
say he gets rid of
I'm
the death
certain that
tax.
Yeah.
Then-
How about this? Yeah, that Alex Murray in the chat wants to say, what about a clickbait slogan, Tyson? How about you do something like I can fix everything with one simple trick.
No.
Vote for me to find out.
Here we go. The one presidential candidate who can make everything better.
Yes.
Click here to find out more. I still don't think that's
Picture and name of me.
Vote here to find out more.
I still don't think that's clickbaity enough.
Okay.
Vote bait.
This man can show you 3 simple steps to gaining superior intelligence. Or, he's also running for president. Click here to find out more.
Oh, so it's not even a presidential headline. It's just
a way of drawing people to you through.
Or this man is the most qualified presidential candidate ever. Why? And then just have a picture, name. Even if they don't click on it, they associate my name with that title. Boom.
Actually, the chat room guy is very smart because you could get rid of all those stupid signs that we see. They're all very generic and all look the same. And Tyson could have a clickbait sign.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
you click the sign.
Yeah, you
Maybe
go
that's
up
like one of those like QR codes, like scan here.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Something like that. Something super clickbaity that they just have to see. This man ate 3 certain things every day, and his dong got huge.
Yeah,
I don't think you should talk about
code.
dongs. I don't think that's the way to go.
And here's what happens. Here's what you do. So because your phone tracks all of your whereabouts and knows pretty much who you are as a person.
Yeah.
When you go to the QR code, if it's somebody who's not going to vote for me, when they scan the QR code and the phone already knows there's no way this guy is going to vote for Tyson no matter what, based on his search history and everything else. So those people get a picture of Anthony Weiner's dong when they go to the QR code. Then the people who will probably vote for me or could be convinced to vote for me will get the secrets to life.
They get the secrets. Yeah. And they become, they become your apostles.
This man has unlocked
apostles.
This man has unlocked the secret to happiness. Click here to find out more.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
All right. I think we've got a lot to workshop here, potentially.
Yeah.
All right.
Tyson Apostle 2020.
Just for the sake of argument, Amber Mariano, 21-year-old. Danny, do you like somebody so young working in government?
How could she do any worse than the old geezers we have running this country?
Okay.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's going to get bullied a lot, but as long as she can stand her ground in there and try to make the changes she wants to make happen, I think it's good.
Yeah, she could be the first woman president, Tyson. What do you think of that? Amber Mariano, first woman president.
That would be awesome. And what if she won in 2020? She can't unless Donald Trump changes the law.
Yeah.
To make it so.
Yeah, you have to be 35 to run for president.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so she's 14 years away. So
I just figured it out.
What is
it? It's a fake birth certificate, like what all the other presidents had.
Yes. So you think that could set off an interesting battle?
Gosh, Tyson, that is such a good idea because then she can also clickbait about how she looks so young.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
So you think you should run? She should run against Trump. You're saying, and then when he tries to say like, "Hey, look, how old is she? Get her birth certificate," and then she could be like, "Oh, here we go again, birth certificate talk."
Yeah.
What happened last time? Yeah.
And then this is what she says. My secret to looking so young is that I work super hard.
Find out my secret to great skin, elect me president, and then I'll release it during the inaugural speech.
But if she says it's working super hard and not getting very much sleep and having a lot of stress, then she encourages the Americans to go out and bust their balls for, that way we get more tax money. All of it. Oh my goodness. If you can trick people into working more and harder and longer and everything, that's this.
All right. Well, yeah, congratulations, Amber Mariano. I don't know if we
not my platform though.
If we've cracked anything here. Yeah. You think people should work less?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
They should work the amount that makes them happy.
Yeah, it seems like that's your platform of people should just do what makes them happy.
Well, unless it's murdering.
No,
I was going to say there's a lot of things you don't want people doing if it makes them happy.
Yeah.
Like clickbaiting in public.
Yeah, you can't have people clicker baiting in front of your kids.
Yeah. No, we don't want
or
that.
a school bus. So you don't want people doing what makes them happy. You need constraint.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. In New Zealand this past week, there was this massive earthquake that it's been talked about quite a bit. 3 cows had been stranded after the earthquake on just a small island of land sticking up. Have you seen this video?
I did.
I saw the pictures.
Yes. What are we doing? What are we doing about these cows?
I thought they were rescued.
They turned
already.
to cannibalism.
No, they were rescued.
No. They're going to eat each other?
I think 2 of them made hamburgers with the third one.
No,
really
they
sad.
did not.
I think I read this morning they were rescued.
Yes.
I'm sure they were rescued.
How did they rescue them? What'd they do? They got them on like a helicopter?
I would assume a helicopter with a little swoop-de-whoop underneath.
Yeah,
the
they got
bellies.
Harrison Ford to pilot the helicopter.
What about Russell? What's his name?
Hans.
Kurt Russell.
Oh.
Well, no, Kurt Russell went down and lassoed him up, and then they dragged him off that mountain. They spent like $2 million probably to rescue those cows.
Sylvester Stallone probably rock climbed up to the plateau, and then Kurt Russell was lowered down on a helicopter with a little swoop-de-whoop that goes under the belly.
And
Together, Sylvester and Harrison Ford was piloting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, that would be so cool if that's how life.
Do you think
really
Harrison
worked.
Ford was in a Chewbacca costume?
Well, I don't know
like
why Harrison Ford would get in a Chewbacca costume. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. He just was Harrison Fording it super hard in the helicopter.
I think him being in a Chewbacca costume, so they're like, oh, and then you just have a random dude in Chewbacca? No, it's Han Solo in a Chewbacca costume. That's my Halloween costume next year. Han Solo in a Chewbacca costume. Wow.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah, it's layers, man. Do you get it?
Yes. If all rescue operations had just Hollywood actors doing it, I would love life. It'd be so much better.
Dude, and that could be them training for their next role in their next film. That's what they should do. So like if they have a film coming up where that's their role, they have to play that role in real life until the film is finished.
The Rock would be all over the world saving people like nonstop. How awesome would it be if you were in danger and the Rock was lowered down and he scooped you up in those muscly arms and just hauled you back into the chopper? I mean, that's everybody's dream come true.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Like almost like
you feel so safe in those arms.
Steven Seagal being the sheriff in that town in Texas, and people like getting arrested for drunk driving, and they're like, "Wait, you're Steven Seagal?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Steven Seagal." Like
imagine driving and you crash your car and it bursts into flames, and then Dolph Lundgren tears the door open and just pulls you out.
Yeah, and then Sylvester Stallone comes up and punches Dolph Lundgren in the face.
No.
Oh.
No, not in this rescue.
Okay, so there's no Rocky stuff.
No, I like this idea. I think that this would be the feel-good story everybody is looking for, where it's like, you turn on the news and it's like, The Rock has apprehended 3 burglars who attempted to rob a bank today. And people are like, yeah.
They all had guns, and he only had his fists.
Kiefer Sutherland thwarted another terrorist attempt in Syria.
Yeah.
It'd be
Arnold
so awesome.
Schwarzenegger stopped 3 kidnappings in 1 week.
And also substitute taught at a kindergarten
class.
I think you guys are really onto something here. I don't know why we're not using some of these A-list celebrities to do more things. It'd be incredible for their publicity. I mean, could you imagine there's like some sort of like bank robbery going on, and then just like if The Rock got on like the bullhorn, like all right, come on out of here. Like The Rock says, come on out.
We're
all right. Look.
They're getting all this formal training to play these roles, so why not put those formal trainings to good use?
Could you imagine you rob a bank, you're inside, the police are outside, and The Rock starts strutting towards the door? You're not going to shoot The Rock. He's a national treasure.
Yeah.
come
And
on
also,
out here,
that bullets don't hurt him.
Yeah.
I mean
what
would you do? You would freeze. You would freeze up like, what we didn't plan for this.
Yeah, we never thought The Rock would show up, and who's that behind him? Oh my gosh, is that Kurt Russell?
Yeah.
Is that Denzel Washington? I mean, they'd be so starstruck that they could not react. And then Denzel Washington could walk up and say something cool and they just melt like butter.
Training day their asses.
Yeah.
I love this idea. This is great. We're on to something.
How do we get the superstars on board?
Guys, this is going to be my platform for 2020.
Replace all policemen with Hollywood superstars.
Yeah.
I think that they should have to do it. It's sort of like mandatory service. Like for every movie they do, then they have to give something back.
Yeah.
And then we'll give them like a tax break or something like that.
Well, and for the record, Harrison Ford has flown search and rescue missions up in Wyoming. So he actually has done that. So hopefully
John Travolta can fly a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of disappointing if you're like, oh, I know a celebrity's here to rescue me, and it's John Travolta.
Whereas if Nicolas Cage stepped out and it wasn't
Yeah.
Face Off, you'd be like,
Oh.
yes, Nicolas Cage. I don't even feel my
Cage.
broken leg.
Yeah.
That's all the anesthesia I need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyson, I think this should be part of your platform.
I already said that.
Yeah. So I think that just should, like, put this down. Like, I don't know if you have some sort of like campaign manager, but I think that they should include this
It's in
in
my
the brochure. Yeah.
Logs to internal ROM.
You know who you should get as your campaign manager is probably a Hollywood superstar like Jeff Goldblum.
Has he managed stuff in roles before? Because you need somebody who's managed stuff like this in
Well, he
roles.
saved the Earth from an alien invasion. I think that makes him qualified.
And also, he's a expert in chaos theory.
And he still
Yeah.
can rock skinny jeans.
Yeah.
So check. He's got the job.
Jeff Goldblum. If you're tuning in live, then you know where we need you. And if
Contact
you're listening to this
Tyson.
after, go ahead and contact me.
I'm not sure I'm on board with campaign manager Goldblum.
All right,
well,
what would
you're
you
not.
recommend?
I don't know. I feel like I think I want somebody who actually is like into data and science and
What are you talking about? That's him in every role. Jurassic Park,
No, that's
Independence.
chaos theory. That's a made-up theory that he made up.
He's a science guy.
Do we
Okay,
want chaos theory ruling our campaign?
it already appears as if it is. So I think we want him in place to explain how these things happen.
Okay. With
right.
the white.
Look,
with
there's
the
a lot
white
of-
drop on knuckles.
Yeah, there's a lot of options out there. I guess we shouldn't, stick to Jeff. Let's look
Rob's
around.
thinking of somebody else. What about
Kevin
the
Hart.
big Kevin Hart. No,
Oh,
the big
yeah.
guy. The true data guy in Jurassic Park was the big guy from Seinfeld. That
Oh, Newman.
No, yeah,
No.
Newman.
No,
Yeah,
I think that Kevin Hart or a comedian would be really good because they're gonna go on like CNN and like all these cable news shows, and it would be so funny. They would be like really good on these interviews,
okay.
and they would just like keep everybody laughing and keep the mood really light.
And he's like a positive like comedian.
Yeah, and he's very inspiring.
Okay.
I say The Rock.
The Rock,
Rock
is
isn't
gonna
a
be a campaign
comedian.
manager
Yeah.
too.
Can't go wrong with The Rock.
You
I
can
mean,
have
the
two
guy
of
is
them.
peaking right now. He's peaking all over the world.
I really feel like this is your guy, Danny.
Yeah, he really is. Come on, that guy.
So The Rock and Kevin Hart, and they have to wear one triple extra large T-shirt and poke both their heads out the same head hole as they do interviews.
The Rock carries Kevin Hart around in a baby Bjorn.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on board.
I don't know. I feel like though if we have The Rock and Kevin Hart, Tyson, with all due respect, then why do we need you?
Yeah, you're gonna be so overshadowed.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Because I'm younger than both of them combined.
Well, yes, that is true. That's fair.
So yeah.
It's weird to think how we got to here from a story about 3 cows in New Zealand that are stranded on a tiny plateau.
Well, we're sending The Rock to save them if they haven't already been saved.
Now
Yeah.
we're giving the old guys a chance. We've got Kurt Russell, Dolph Lundgren.
You don't need The Rock
and
on the
Harrison
cow
Ford.
saving mission.
Yeah, he doesn't save a cow. That's beneath him.
No, that's for when he's retired. When he hits retirement, he can go start saving New Zealand cows.
Yeah. All right. A story sent to us by many listeners is about a new bicycle tire that never gets flat. Nexo is a company that has developed a bike tire which supposedly never goes flat because it's technically airless. Is this getting you guys pumped up?
This is a Utah company.
I like this, but I hate this.
Oh, no. Why? Because you fix bicycles?
No, I've been familiar with this tire for a long time. And I actually know some people that are working on the project. The idea is great because I think it's actually lighter than a regular bike tire. Basically what it is it's like a polymer exoskeleton type deal. The problem with that is if you get mud in it, it can stick inside in a place that you can't really clean out very well.
Oh, no.
And
Yeah,
so I think you're going to get like rocks and stuff in there. So if you look at it, if you look at the picture of the tire there, it's basically like a hollow tube, like netting. So it's it's penetrable all over. Does that make sense? I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, you can see a picture of it in the article. The other
Yeah.
problem with a tube or a tire that never goes flat is that now millions of people won't have an excuse to not ride their bike.
Oh, that's true.
Right? I'd love to go with you, but I've got 2 flat tires and I can't get, a tube. So now it's like, oh, great, dude, I have to go ride.
Aren't you also going to put a lot of people out of work, Tyson?
No.
You won't? What about all the people making tires that go flat?
Probably robots do that now.
Yeah. Well, that's all outsourced stuff, and those will still be available for a long time because this idea is probably not perfected yet. But also, the thing is this company is going to have to make such a wide range of tires, and they're going to have to make different squishinesses. We'd call that PSI in the cycling world, based on people's riding style and what they prefer. There's just too many variables in putting air in a tire right now for any high-end bicycle that maybe this will take place of the solid rubber tires on kids' bikes.
Yeah, that's where I should probably start.
But that's already a thing. So this is just lightening that up and making it a little more realistic.
This will help me with my blood pressure, though, if this could take off, at least in beginner bikes, because one of the biggest frustrations with kid bikes and when I see
finding a tube that small.
Yeah, and when I see adults riding around with low tire pressure, it drives me absolutely insane.
Furious.
It's like,
Danny gets furious.
Your tire. That's like the most basic bike maintenance thing you need to know.
Yeah, people will bring in their bikes. People will bring in their bikes and be like, "Oh, hey, I think my bike saddle is like a little bit askew. Can you fix that?" It's like, yeah, it's easy. You just tap it until it straightens up. But also, did you know that you have 2 flat tires?
That is a true story. I worked at a bike shop, like a long time ago, and 90% of the stuff I did dealt with low tire pressure. My bike's not working. It's like, yeah, you have a flat tire. You're riding on your rim. That's why it's not working so great.
So good.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's try to get all those tires pressurized to the proper levels for next week, everybody.
And everybody, pump your tires up.
Pump them
please.
Up.
Pump them up. You know who we should get to pump them up? Dolph Lundgren.
Oh
no! Wait, Hans and Franz.
Yeah. Well, that's the more natural one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, get your tires pumped up. Public service from Danny and Tyson. This is a story about a woman who bought a Zara dress. Now, what is a Zara dress?
Zara is a brand. Rachel purchased quite a bit of Zara stuff for Bergen and also some for herself.
Okay, but not as good as Shop Dawn, right?
Not as good as Shop Dawn. Shop Dawn's the best. It's the premier dress manufacturer in the country and probably the world.
This is a step above H&M, I think.
Yes. Okay. So she bought a Zara dress and she noticed a bad smell coming from the dress, and it turns out that there was a dead rodent sewn into the dress.
Okay, I have a real issue with this story.
Yes.
I saw this, and the very first thing that jumped into my head is this is bullcrap.
Clicker.
Okay, actual craptual.
Yeah, that was my initial feeling.
This is from the dailytelegraph.com.
Yeah, that is a borderline sounding legitimate place to get your news. I don't know if I would trust that.
Okay.
So did you do any more research on this, Danny, or no?
Australian Daily Telegraph.
No, I didn't do any more research because it didn't interest me beyond that. But now that I'm seeing in front of me, I think that, and plus, she may have posted the pictures. Like, what I'm saying is, she may have been the one that is fooling
manufacture
people
it
by, like, it came to her in fine form, but in order to get attention, like the people who like put like a dead mouse in their Wendy's chili.
Yeah. So she's encouraging people to clickbait.
Yeah, like she's trying to get attention by creating a clickbait story.
I mean, this story has been widely reported
from different news sources,
different news sites. I mean, I'm reading it on the New York Daily News, various other sites are reporting.
See, but this is a deeper clickbait story because it's not a story that was created from thin air. Here's a story about a woman who has a dress with a mouse hand sticking out of it. That part is true, that there is a dress with a mouse hand sticking out of it. What I'm saying is that she possibly she possibly found a dead mouse and sewed it into the dress during her free time.
Oh boy,
those are some strong accusations, Danny Bryson.
What do you do? Lie detector? How do we get to the bottom of this?
Yeah, she is a walking clickbait.
Yeah,
like she's creating the clickbait. She's the
I feel like the
source.
lie detector isn't used enough, Tyson.
Isn't there an
It's not
app
100%
that's a lie detector?
accurate.
Why can't we develop a 100% effective lie detector?
Like
What we
truth
need is that
serum.
truth serum
Yeah.
Truth
that
serum?
they use on True Lies.
Yeah, sodium
They're
pentothal.
like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is a truth serum expert because on True Lies they gave it to him, and he's like, "What are you gonna do now?" And he's like, "I'm gonna break out of here. By first, I'm gonna take your gun, then I'm gonna smash your head into this thing, and I'm gonna kick down that door and walk out of here."
So
And they're like,
sometimes, sometimes you don't want to hear the truth. Is what
I mean,
that movie
yeah.
taught me.
Danny, with all these innovations in Silicon Valley, I mean, shouldn't there be some sort of startup working on the 100% effective lie detector? And then shouldn't we just be using it everywhere in
No.
news and politics?
Most people aren't ready for the truth, as
Can't handle the
stated by a famous actor.
Yeah.
"Who was who?" Because we could get them on TV somewhere to repeat that line.
Well, I mean, just
Jack Nicholson.
I think in this
Yep.
case we should apply the truth serum, because I've got a feeling, and I'm curious to know whether or not this is true, and I think that my curiosity trumps her rights. Like we should probably find out whether or not she put that dead hand in there, or if that guy put the thumb in the Wendy's chili, or whatever. This is like,
Yeah,
just-
the thing to me that's really bizarre about this story, where all the pictures show the mouse in the sewn up dress. I mean, I feel like that the story doesn't add up to me. It's like I put on a clothing garment. I said something smells odd, and then I see like a lump,
yeah, and she
and then
didn't
I'm
feel
like-
it in the dress when she put it on.
and then I'm like, oh, let me get my camera and photograph this. It just seems so odd to me that the like I think the like, oh my God, is this a dead mouse? I think I'm sort of like trying to get to the bottom of this before I'm like photographing this horror story.
Well, and I mean, even if it was sewn into the dress, have some sympathy for that poor Chinese worker who lives in a dormitory with suicide nets around it, who, yeah, she was sleepy and a mouse got onto her sewing machine. She sewed it on. Go and get another dress. There's no need for outrage. You should show some sympathy for the person who sewed that mouse into the dress.
Not to mention the dead mouse itself.
Yeah, what about the mouse? No sympathy for him.
Are
What about,
mouse
I mean,
not
the
people
cows,
too?
3 cows trapped on a plateau. They're getting worldwide coverage. A mouse sewn into a dress, not so much.
No, it also is getting worldwide coverage.
Oh yeah, you're right. But no sympathy. I was trying to say sympathy.
Okay. So
Okay,
you're
so-
thinking that a celebrity who has brought things back to life in movies should be assigned to perhaps revive this mouse.
Mouth to mouth, mouse to mouse.
No,
Mouth
that's
to
not
mouth.
going to work. That's not,
Yeah.
Should the woman get a free live mouse?
With a new dress.
Yes, with a new dress
Yeah.
Sew your own mouse into your
to
dress.
make up for the dead mouse that she got with this dress.
Yeah. I mean, I think so.
The other problem is in today's fashion, it's hard to tell whether or not that's a fashion statement. I mean, they have fur, right? So why maybe the new
What if
thing?
you're anti-fur?
Yeah, maybe the new thing on the Paris walkway are rodents sewn into your clothing, kind of like, Mongols used to make clothing out of rodents. Maybe there's this kind of like a look back at that style.
What clothing was large enough for Mongols made out of rodents?
Well, supposedly they would make clothing sewn together skins of field mice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Who knew?
They're poor. They were very poor.
Yeah. So this was like Silence of the Lambs, except
they
for
could never have
mice.
afforded a dress from Zara's ever.
Let me get to one last story today, and I do want to just maybe extra flag this story as potentially being NSFW, or if you have some children who are somehow in earshot, that we will do our best to be delicate about this. And I thought that this was probably an actual craptual story, but it has been widely reported. So I guess it is technically a actual news story, which we should cover. A number of our listeners sent us this story about a woman named Tracy Kiss, who is a 29-year-old single mother from I believe lives in the UK. And she has been receiving a lot of media attention because she claims to have discovered the remedy, one simple trick, Tyson, to avoiding the colds and the flu. And she says that one simple trick is drinking a daily smoothie with the ingredient of human semen.
Prostitutes everywhere shaking their head in disbelief.
No. Danny, we're going to be very sensitive about this story.
Well, how can we be? The subject itself is a little bit coarse.
Lends itself to perversions.
Yeah, it does. It's going to be hard to walk this line, but okay. All right.
We can walk it.
Men carry
That's
with
what
them.
great journalists we are, and carry great poise and dignity.
Yeah. Now, this woman, she's made a video talking about her routine. Do you want to hear any of this from her?
Sure.
Okay.
It's like milking a cow in the morning.
Trainer and nutrition advisor, I'm very much into fitness, having a clean and healthy body. There are surprisingly a lot of nutritional benefits from eating semen, some of which I'm going to read out to you now. So 1 teaspoon of semen contains over 200 proteins, several helpful vitamins, minerals including vitamin C, calcium, chloride, citric acid, fructose.
Okay, Tyson, are we buying this, or has she just gotten the jump on you in terms of being the latest one simple trick person?
I don't know if she's onto something or not. It seems like there would probably be some health benefits to that. Some nutrition. I mean, it's the equivalent of 12 steak dinners as far as I know.
In what way?
Sounds like her
protein,
friend.
the protein content, the vitamin, and take this with a grain of salt because I'm not a medical professional.
A grain of something, yeah.
Yeah, the salt might help the flavor.
Yeah.
The equivalent of 12 steak dinners in protein content, in iron, in vitamin E, which is great for your skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got it all. And I could see there probably being some nutritional benefits to that, but can't you get those nutritional benefits elsewhere, somewhere that's maybe not gross?
Yeah. Danny, is there a placebo effect here, or do you think that there's science behind this?
I think that her friend has got her going.
Got her going.
Yeah, you got to drink this because, listen, I'm going to list these benefits. Don't bother looking up the truth on the internet, but I'm going to give you my own clickbait and tell you that there's, I have the secret to unlocking eternal youth, and it's in my pants. And these are all the benefits you'll get if you drink this cup that I've just filled in the bathroom.
Right. Now, there's nothing. Yes, Tyson.
I actually did my own research on this.
Okay.
Okay.
And I gave Danny what I told him was a placebo.
Yes.
I said, this is a placebo semen, not a real semen. It's a placebo semen. I want you to take it every day when I drop it off at your house, and you tell me how you feel. And even he thought it was a placebo. It was not. It was a fake placebo and the real thing. And he was saying how much better he felt. He was looking younger. He was more vibrant. He was energetic. So I think I proved that it works.
Okay. So, Danny, when Tyson told you that it was a placebo, why did you continue to take the sample?
Because I thought he said placenta.
Oh.
And I know that there's a lot of health benefits from eating your own placenta.
Health benefits.
So I'm like, okay, that explains my shining optimism. That's never been part of me before. I'm super happy all of a sudden.
I believe everything that's told to me. I'm no longer a skeptic.
Yeah. I wonder would horse semen work? Because you get a lot more.
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Wait, do you get more horse semen, Danny? And how do you know that?
I think I've seen a video somewhere.
Okay.
I'm just assuming a larger mammal would have more.
That's unclear. That's unclear at this point. There's more research that needs to be done. Again, nothing sexual going on here. She has a male friend who delivers the sample to her. She says that she thinks that it all tastes really good depending on what her friend has been eating. She says her other friends think she's strange, but she doesn't give a toss.
She doesn't give a toss. This again could be a clickbait story.
Yes.
We don't know. Have we actually? I would like to witness her consuming this beverage, man beverage.
This
there are photos of her with a blender.
So
okay, those are hard to find. A woman with a blender. Here's the thing. This is propaganda by the male agenda to promote BJs.
Okay. You think that's the lobby that's going on?
It could be.
Okay.
There's a strong BJ lobby in Washington on K Street.
And
She
you know
says-
what? Me as
yeah.
president, I will put a stop to all of that.
You're gonna end it.
Yeah,
Drain
you will.
in that swamp. I will drain that swamp.
Yeah,
Every day.
that
if I
swamp
have
of
to.
that semen swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drain it.
The woman also says that she had been feeling run down and had no energy, but she says, now I'm full of beans and my mood has improved.
I don't see how beans would help. Beans make me
I'm
very
not sure.
sluggish.
Gassy.
I'm not
And
sure
bloated.
she's full,
Gassy. Yeah.
she's full of beans now.
Is
Yeah.
she qualified to be making these statements? Has the FDA approved, or are we going to see an asterisk at the bottom of her blog?
Yeah, there's
That's
definitely an
possible.
asterisk.
Now, the FDA is an American entity, and she is writing these blogs from the UK.
So if her friend shipped
She
Tyson
found a
some of
loophole.
his- if her friend
Yeah.
shipped Tyson some of his man seed, Tyson couldn't drink it because it's not FDA approved.
It would probably get picked up at the border
It would,
Mhm.
and they'd
in
be
customs.
like, "Oh no, you can't have this seed, Tyson."
do you have
Yeah.
any? Do you have any seeds or produce? Well, I have
I have
a million. I
Ziploc
have
bag.
like 4 million seeds.
I have a Ziploc bag in my pocket.
Yeah,
Filled
4
with
million seeds.
That looks like hair gel. It's seed.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we will see if we have more updates on this story as this woman, Tracy Kiss. It sounds like a fake name. Also,
Yeah, it's all fake.
it's all
Yeah.
fake. Everything here is fake.
No, I don't know for sure, but
The whole world, it's all an illusion. It's just like Elon Musk said.
Yeah,
It's
we're
just
living
all a
in the Matrix.
simulation. Yeah, we're in the Matrix.
All right. Interesting stuff all the way around, and we'll see if we have any updates on that. So first off, thanks to Alex Kidwell this week, who filled in for News AF intern Lita on helping us assemble this cornucopia of stories this week.
oh, I like the Thanksgiving reference.
Yes, very autumn based. For our hashtag, is it clicker baiting?
Clicker baiting.
Yeah, a lot of that talk this week. Anyway, hope that News AF has made some progress this week in the war against fake news. We are truly on the front line. If you have real news, if you spotted real news along the way, that's News AF. Please send it our way. tips@newsaf.news. And then you could also post them in our Facebook group, Group AF on Facebook.
Right. Danny is highly active in that group.
Highly active.
Maybe our Facebook group could be the filter. Maybe all of our group could be arbiters of truth.
Yeah. Well, what do we do when we feel like that there's an actual craptual story that's posted in our group?
We shame the user. Tyson's taught us about the power of shaming.
Yeah, public shaming is the worst.
Yes.
So we
thing you can
make the
get.
person who posts the fake story do whatever the fake story is about so that the story becomes real, and then it's now actual factual.
Well, I don't want to shame any of our listeners, but I do think that maybe we could just add the actual craptual tag in the comments.
Yeah, like
Okay.
a big red circle with the cross out.
All caps. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
all caps.
Do you think we could make some type of emoji, the actual craptual
Oh,
emoji?
yeah. And then people post it. Yeah. I think that
Yeah.
would be perfect. Well, if one of our listeners could help us work on that, an actual craptual emoji or just like red stamp, like,
And an actual factual one too.
yeah, verified, like
Yeah.
almost like the blue check mark of news.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Yes. All right. Good stuff. That Tyson, of course, is on Twitter. He's at Tyson Apostle. Danny is reading your tweets as well at Danny Bryson.
I had one almost go viral, dude.
A tweet go viral.
How do you know it? How do you know it almost went viral?
Because it
Explain
got
to me.
800 favorites and like 300 retweets.
What was
And
it? Political?
It was political.
Yeah. What
was
did you
when
say?
I said that don't spoil. It was Tuesday night, and I said don't spoil the results of the election. I have it DVR'd, and I'm going to watch it this weekend.
No, that's not political. That's fine. That's just
Yeah.
during the election.
Yeah, and it started going berserko. Like I went to a movie, came back, and I had already reached a large amount of numbers, and I was like, I really am like right on the cusp of it, of me waking up in the morning and having it have like 40,000 retweets.
So
I feel
Tuesday
like-
night, you went to the movies during the election results?
Yeah,
Wow.
Or maybe you mistook the election for a movie.
You really don't give a toss, Tyson.
Not a toss.
I did, but what am I going to do in that moment?
Yeah.
Tyson's full of beans.
I came back from the
Full of
movie and
beans.
turned on the TV and watched as state after state turned red on the map, and was like, is this a dream? What is going on?
What is going on? That's
Not
right.
a dream, and like a nightmare.
Yeah, and that's when Tyson Apostle 2020 was born.
Yes.
Yeah,
Should
it's
have
all
been
happening.
2016.
Hey, do
I'd
we have
be-
a review?
I'd be your president right now. Yeah, we have a review.
I love
Yeah,
reviews.
President-elect Tyson.
President-elect Tyson would
Hey,
be here
President-elect
now
Tyson should give
on
us
the
a review.
podcast. Here we go.
Would you still do the podcast, or would it be a conflict of interest?
No, he has to do it.
I think I would still do it if I could.
It'll be the equivalent of like the fireside chats of the presidents
Yeah,
of old.
yeah.
Presidents of old.
It's a
Okay, here
radio
we go.
address. Yes.
News. This is a little bit older, but it's still great and semi-relevant.
Like-
News AF never dropped a boner. 5-star. The fake T. Noel. Ken Bone saw Danny's boat hole and he liked it.
Wait, is that it? Is that the whole
That's it.
review?
5 stars.
Well done. Well done. You could leave us your own review if you can top that one, or even if you can attempt to top that one. Go to newsaf.news for that. All right. Great stuff. Thanks so much to Scott St. Pierre, who edits the News AF podcast. We'll be back again next Tuesday, Thanksgiving week. You ready for that?
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
ready.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, hopefully we'll have plenty of Thanksgiving themed stories for you guys next week on News AF. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
Shakas.